Walker in second, her best international placing.
The car is a very nice car to drive. Plus it's got some more brake horsepower, and I feel very confident in the car, and that makes up for a lot, really.
Now, does this result augur well for the season, for a good championship result, do you think?
Well, start is the way you mean to go on, isn't that the saying?
Cartel International Rally. Pentiaricola with Ronan McNamee.
The same scene in Bradford as exactly 12 months ago. Round one of the Shell Oils RAC Open Championship is over. The same winner, but for an Opel Manta 400, Reed Mitsubishi Starion. Louise Aitken-Walker second, Gwyndaf Evans third. Some unfamiliar names featuring, but the championship led by Pentiaricola in the Mitsubishi Starion from Britain's #1 woman, Louise Aitken-Walker. That was in the forests. The Circuit of Ireland is on tarmac, but it's an event that has changed quite a bit in the last few seasons. There used to be a time when the Circuit of Ireland meant just that, a race down the east coast, back up the west, starting and finishing in Belfast. But then came Group B cars, followed by revised safety regulations from the sport's governing body. And now it's more of a sprint from Belfast to Waterford in the south before finishing in Dublin. But it's a sprint down narrow, twisty stages, rutted and in poor condition after a tough winter. Jimmy McRae was going for a record 6th win on the event, challenging the former Open champion Mark Lovell, making his first appearance in this year's championship. The Circuit of Ireland is a pace note event, which means crews can reconnoitre, and co-drivers like Ronan Morgan alongside Lovell can supply the rapid-fire route information.
20 easy left, up to Brow, easy left. 70 caution, long right, tightens to left maybe.
Lovell and Morgan attacking, but Lovell wasn't alone in his criticism of this year's route.
I've never seen such bad stages on any tarmac rally at all. I mean, regardless of it being the circuit or Ulster or whatever, they're very poor stages. I'm sure there's no need to run them, and I don't consider it to be a proper tarmac rally. I don't know what they're trying to do. Perhaps they're trying to lose all sort of recognition for the old Circuit of Ireland, but whatever they're doing, they're going the right way about it, and I really hope that somebody listens and does something about it.
There's so much mud and potholes and running water and that across in the south that I just feel it's going to be very, very difficult for anybody, and I think anybody that just keeps the nose clean and has a steady run will end up with a very good result.
I think when you've done the old Circuit of Ireland, 600 stage miles and 50 stages and some real classic roads, this event is just a bit disappointing. I think they've just really gone overboard in trying to slow the rally down. I mean, they've picked some really rough, narrow farm roads, which you don't really expect in a tarmac rally.
Jimmy McRae has won the event in all its guises, most recently last year en route to the title, a victory that equalled Paddy Hopkirk's total of 5 circuit wins. McRae in the Sierra Cosworth content to sit back off the pace a little in the early stages. David Llewellyn won here 2 years ago. Now he's in the big Audi 200, and that's likely to prove a real handful in the tight stages to come.
Maybe he'll be brave enough. It's a big car, so he slides it right out there towards the cars. The acceleration there of the 200.
Llewellyn, with Phil Short in the co-driver's seat, takes 3rd place early on. Now here's Mark Lovell in his Cosworth Sierra, last year's Irish tarmac champion. That title his priority again this season. Lovell sets the early pace.
20 Brow, easy right, 20. Wet mud, K left. 50 Brow, tight K left, gravel to right. And left maybe. To Brow, 30, 90 right mud. 20 Brow, long left maybe, to caution Brow. And slow left into hairpin right. And hairpin left. To medium right and Brow. 30 easy right. 50 long easy left opens over 70. To long left maybe. 20 easy right. 30k left. 20 easy right to long easy left. 30 easy right, 30 caution left over pump.
So after the first two stages, it's Lovell ahead with the Sierra Cosworths prominent right through the top five, apart from Llewellyn, who's forced his way into third. Other challengers, Cally Grundle had the new Peugeot 309 GTI and pronounced himself happy, apart from the need for stiffer suspension. And there's Pentti Aricola, who took the Mitsubishi Starion to victory in the opening round of the championship in the forests of Yorkshire. But the tarmac was proving rather more of a struggle. Pentti lost about 30 seconds with a spin on the second stage, and further time was being lost with a misfire. Malcolm Wilson once again led the GM Dealer Sport Challenge in his Astra GTE and looked in good form as he powered into the top six.
Michael Wilson, of course, drove for British Rail once the road
Louise Aitken-Walker once again in Peugeot's 205 GTI, just holding the advantage over her teammate Cally Grundle. And always a contender, at least for class honours, Skoda, just over 100 horsepower and competing in the up to 1300cc class. John Haugland leading the way here. Not able to compete with the Sierra Cosworths for spectacle, though. Spitting flame here is the great Irish favourite, Bertie Fisher. And the garish colours of Phil Collins, but here's a man going flat out and rewarded early on with second place. Stage 4 near Banbridge, and the rally leader Mark Lovell sets about extending his lead, no doubt boosted by the news that fifth place man David Llewellyn is out of the rally, the Audi blowing a piston. Lovell's car handling badly. The car needed extensive attention before the event with the replacement engine and new wiring, but Lovell, who won the Ulster Rally last season, getting the best out of it. Nevertheless, McRae was now second and closing. A misfire that troubled him early on is now cured. Third place, Phil Collins in what's unkindly called the paraffin delivery van. Up to fourth, helped by the demise of Llewellyn, is Malcolm Wilson in the Astra GTE. Wilson alongside Jimmy McRae's championship-winning co-driver Ian Brindrod. Delaying Bertie Fisher had been a slight misfire plus an overshoot on the second stage, but now the local favourite starting to climb up the leaderboard and doing it in entertaining fashion. Pentti Aricola, disappointingly off the pace in the early stages, also working hard to repair the situation. We joined Pentti and co-driver Ronan McNamee on stage 5. And coming up, an example of how much a driver depends on a co-driver. A pace note call has been misheard. They're going about 50 miles an hour too fast. Important points of interest to watch out for here. The panic-stricken hands, as the mistake is realised. Oh, and the farm gate as well. In the interests of decency, we thought it best not to eavesdrop on the dialogue at this point. Suffice to say, there was a rather robust inquest. For a while, they relied on gesticulations, but by the end of the stage, the sense of humour had returned.